What has been your favorite Christmas song of 2024 and why is it Christmas Wrapping by the Waitresses?
It's incredible that we were both on the same wavelength of that because we were yesterday building something in our backyard because that's what we do on our free time.
Yes.
And I just brought it up to you, and we both stopped what we were doing and we're like, oh my God, there's no way you were thinking of that song too. Because I heard that song probably like a year ago in Bob's Burgers. Great show, by the way. And I remember thinking, oh, it's probably just some weird Bob's Burgers song, but no, it's great. I heard it in Target and I've been playing it nonstop since.
Caleb, do you know this song by the title? I know you know it if you heard it, but do you know the song by the title?
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
So it's the one that's it's a real funky song. It's like from the 80s and it's this
Can you
lady
play it?
singing. I can't play it. I have legal restrictions, but I can sing it. Dun 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 dun. I got a little small turkey and I forgot the cranberries too. So I went to the store and there's the guy that I've been chasing all year in line. But this doesn't ring a bell?
No.
You're not doing it any justice.
Bro, that was exactly how it goes. Exactly how it goes. Okay,
If you
well
keep singing it, I might get it.
that's all I can remember. But it's got this funky bass line, the cool guitar riffs. There's horns. It's such an 80s. I don't even know.
There are bells.
There are bells, and it tells this fun story of how like this girl and this guy have sort of been like seeing each other throughout the year, but they've never really like gotten an opportunity to spend time together. And she's not going to celebrate the holidays this year because everything's so busy. And by the end, like she's cooking up her lonely little Christmas dinner and she forgot the cranberries. So she had to go to the store and there's her crush in line. And it ends with like they're going to spend Christmas together. It's such a cool song. And like, as Luke said, we were just building this thing in the backyard, this really cool Costco car, and he brought up this song and it stopped me right in my tracks. I'm like, dude, it's been on a loop for me this year. It's tremendous. So
Like the entire year.
since January 1st,
Wow.
I've listened
The
to it
um
more than any other track.
the hook of the song goes Merry Christmas, but I think I'll skip this one this year.
Oh, there you go. Yep, got it. Thank you.
Oh, that was so much better than my version.
Yeah, because it was the actual version.
Punch it to me.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Colby Cast, where we dive into movies,
21 gigawatts!
TV,
Sometimes I'll start a sentence, and I don't even know where it's going. I just hope I find it along the way.
and everything in between.
Well, I don't know how you get a podcast, but you should look into it.
I'm Colby, and I'm joined by my two awesome sons, Caleb
I don't know how to tie my shoes.
and Luke.
I never shut up.
Together, we're your friendly neighborhood pop culture nerds, here to share our thoughts on Star Wars, Marvel, the latest entertainment news, and maybe even some sports.
You believe in miracles? Yes!
So grab a piece of cake
Cake! Everybody loves cakes.
and find a comfy spot on the couch, because this is your place for community and conversation about pop culture and storytelling.
What an incredible smell you've discovered.
You know what's been stuck in my head all day?
But
Lift Yourself Up by Kanye West.
Great song.
It's only like as he leads into it and then it just becomes a troll. Like just the melody.
Do you know why that he dropped that song?
Yes. It is
I
great.
love it. So for
is that a
context,
Christmas
that
song?
it's not. Um, Kanye, as you may know, is a little bit crazy, and he promised Drake this beat. And it's a really cool beat, and the beat is, it's, I don't know if I would call it a choir, but it's people singing "Lift Yourself Up Off Your Feet" just over and over, and it's a really cool beat. And he promised the beat to Drake, and Drake had been sitting on it and sitting on it and sitting on it, waiting for Kanye to give it to him, and then Kanye drops "Lift Yourself," and it's him going scoop dee whoop, scoop dee whoop dee poop, scoop dee whoop dee poop.
I have heard you guys talk about this song.
It's great. I love it.
was very
Scoop
funny.
diddy whoop dee boop.
Yeah, give or take a couple ad libs, but yeah.
It's great. And that's the song you had on play today, Caleb?
I saw someone trying to sample it and put it over a different song and skipped it because it was trash. But just that catchiness of the tune got stuck in my head.
Scoop diddy whoop dee doop.
Well, if it's all right with you guys, I would like to commandeer this podcast.
Ooh,
Where are we going?
okay.
So, I've created a little game that I would like for you, Dad, to participate in. I will ask you a series of questions, 10 questions that you have to answer. Some of them will be multiple choice, some of them will be not multiple choice. Don't know what not multiple choice is, but that's broad. Of those 10 questions, your goal is to get 8 points. If you get 8 points, I will give you a Target exclusive 3 mini Mandalorian Funko Pops.
Oh, the stakes just got really high right now. I really should have been listening to everything you just said. Can you explain it? I'm just kidding.
10 questions.
10
Some will
questions.
be
They're
multiple
multiple
choice.
choice. Okay.
Some will be.
No, I heard
Some
it. I
won't be.
was just joking. I heard what you said. I like it.
Okay.
I like question games.
Okay.
I like question games. So, but
So
I
let
have
me
to
know
get
when
the
you're
answers.
ready.
Okay. I mean,
There's going to be a
wait.
common theme here.
I have one condition. I love the idea. Let's play games. It's Christmas. You play games on Christmas. But if I play this game, you have to tell me, you have to promise that you're going to watch Shrinking on Apple TV.
That's a really big commitment.
That
No,
is
no, no.
it is a great deal that I think you should accept.
It is
Are you
really
giving
not
me
a
a
big
time
commitment.
frame in which I have to finish watching it by?
No, I'm not. You can leave it open ended. I just want your commitment that you will watch it. And if you still give me trouble about this, I'm going to up the ante and say that you have to finish watching Ted Lasso too. So either you take Shrinking right now, or I add Ted Lasso season 3 to the deal.
So hold on. Let me try and broker this deal. What are the max points that Dad can achieve if he gets everything right?
Let's do some math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Merry Christmas.
7,
Merry
8,
Christmas. But I think I'll sit this one
9,
out this year. Merry
10,
Christmas. Merry Christmas.
11, 12,
This is riveting, especially for people that
17.
can't see us. Oh, okay.
17. Okay, so if Dad gets 17 points total, you have to watch Shrinking and Ted Lasso per his request.
I like it.
Deal.
Look at
I
that.
like it. Okay, so
You're not getting 17.
how many points do I have to get just to get your Shrinking commitment?
I'm already giving you mini Funko Pops, man.
This is a gift to you, my
How
little
about
man.
I'll watch it. I'll watch it, okay? I'll watch it.
Okay, that's all I
Get
needed to
off
hear.
my back.
I mean, you're doing yourself a disservice by not watching it. This show is so good. It's so good. Harrison Ford is in it. Jason Segel
This
is in
is the
it.
peer pressure that you guys warned me about going into middle school about people gonna threaten me and say, smoke cigarettes in the bathroom with me. All the kids are doing it.
Hey. You want to watch Shrinking? Hey, you want to watch Shrinking?
No. My mom said I'm not allowed.
Okay, I
I
got my
will watch
commitment.
Shrinking.
I got my commitment. I'm happy.
There's a maximum of 17 points that you can get in this 10 question game. There's a purpose of this game, and I think you're going to pick up on the purpose of this game after a few questions.
I feel like I'm being set up for something. Do I have any lifelines?
Sure, Caleb can be your lifeline, but you only get one.
Can I get 2?
And I can't
No.
promise you that I'll get the answer right. I was involved in the preparation of this minimally.
Oh, can I Google?
No.
Can I write a
I'm
letter?
starting.
Okay.
You get one lifeline.
Got it.
Okay. So the first question is real or fake? I'm going to give you a person, and you're going to tell me if this is a real person or a fake person. For an extra point, you can guess why this person is famous. If you get both correct, you get 2 points.
Okay.
This person's name is Lefty Gunplay.
So I need to decide if Lefty Gunplay is real or fake.
And if you guess that they are real,
Then I need to know why they're real for a bonus point.
Or why they're famous, yes.
I'm going to say that they're famous.
Okay.
Am I right?
Correct. Lefty Gunplay is a real person.
Yes. And I'm going to say that they're famous for a bonus point. I'm going to say that Lefty Gunplay is like a hip hop involved artist.
And that is called.
You are correct.
Yes. I feel like
Lefty
we should have sound
Gunplay.
effects.
Lefty Gunplay. Maybe next time. Lefty Gunplay features on Kendrick Lamar's newest album, GNX.
Love it. Love it. An album that you guys have not stopped listening to.
Have not. I highly encourage you guys to Google this person. You don't have to listen to any of his stuff. Excuse me. But just look at him. He's a very funny looking person. So
Can
2
I just
points for you?
Can I just add thank you. I'm off to a great start. Can I add just a public service announcement that anything that Luke recommends that you Google should probably be Googled without your children around, just in case.
I'm not saying listen to any of the stuff this guy says. I just want you to see what this guy looks like.
Okay. Remind me to do that. Next question.
So you have 2 points. 5 away from the prize. 2. Real or fake? Rico Blase. Is this a real person, and why are they famous?
I'm going to guess that Rico Blase is fake.
You are correct. Ding, ding, ding. Rico Blase is not real. I made them up.
I just knew that you made that person up.
Okay. Question number 3. Real or fake? Glorilla.
Glorilla. See, now I'm twisting in my brain because I figured you would come out of the gate with the real person, and I assumed you would follow that one up with a fake person. But now I don't know if you would follow that up with a fake person or if you would go back to the real people.
It's the rock, paper, scissors paradox.
Glorilla.
Glorilla.
It's very, very similar to another band that I believe is called the Gorillas.
That is a band, correct? Yeah.
And didn't they have a song that they covered in that movie Trolls, where the frumpy little troll people, not the trolls, but the people were singing one of the Gorillas songs?
I don't know.
The Glorrillas. This is tough.
You're asking it's not the Glorrillas.
I'm sorry, the Glorilla. The Glorilla. See, I'm already messing my brain up. I'm going to go fake.
Incorrect. Glorilla is a female rapper from Memphis.
Oh. The headquarters of FedEx are in Memphis.
Yeah, you should know that.
Yeah.
She's very famous. She has a very funny accent. It's great.
Does.
Okay. So Glorilla.
So you have 3 points. Moving on to question 4.
Wait, why do I have 3 points? I got the other.
Because you got
what?
2 in the first one, 1 in the second one.
So what? So yeah, you're right. You're right. Proceed.
Yes. Have you caught on to what the theme of this is yet?
Yeah, like you're asking me funny named artists and if they're right or wrong, or if they're real or
We're
fake.
moving past that now.
Oh.
Which event were you born closer to? The signing of the Geneva Accords or Michael Jackson's final studio album, Invincible?
The Geneva Accords.
Correct.
That was a layup, even though I have no idea. As a history major, I should know when the Geneva Accords were signed, but I have no idea when they were. But I figured they would be before Michael Jackson's last studio album.
Well, it's not which one came first, it's which one is closer to the day you were born.
Right, but I figured the Geneva Accords would be the one that was closer to my birth because I know, and
So,
he was recording like into the 2000s.
yes, but he didn't drop a studio album.
Oh,
So, the
okay.
Geneva Accords were signed in 1954, and Michael Jackson's final album, his final studio album, was released in 2001, making the Geneva Accords 21 years older than you, while you are 26 years older than the album Invincible by Michael Jackson.
This is fun. You put a lot of work into this. This is great. Um, is there a bonus point that I could get with this question?
No, there is not.
Oh, okay.
So you're at 4 points.
And I just need 8 for my toys?
Yes.
Got it. How many questions do I have left?
You have 6 more questions.
Ooh, man, if I don't get my toys, I'm going to beat myself up.
It gets harder.
I was afraid of that.
Which event were you born closer to? The great stock market crash or the release of the filmed version of the Broadway musical Hamilton?
What stock market crash are you referring to?
The one that led to the Great Depression. The great stock market crash.
Oh man, this is oh gosh. Start singing while I count on my fingers and toes.
I'm not singing Hamilton.
Can I sing Hamilton? Well, Hamilton was released on Disney Plus, the filmed version with
Correct.
genius Lin-Manuel Miranda during the pandemic. I believe it was 2021 that it was released. So that's like
I really hope people listening to this listen to us in like quadruple speed.
Yeah.
So it was like
It's less
46.
fun the more you think.
Oh man, that's so the Great Depression. So the stock market crash that led to the Great Depression, you're saying, right? You're referring to the one that happened in the 30s.
I'm not going to say when it happened, but that is the one I am referring to, yes. That led to the Great Depression.
So
I don't want to rush you, but I will put you on a timer.
you're asking me which one I was born closer to.
Yes.
I'm going to say the stock market crash.
Incorrect.
Oh, see, I thought you were
The
trying to
release
make
of
me
the
feel
filmed version.
old.
That is the theme. Yeah, correct. The release of the filmed version of the Broadway musical Hamilton was released in 2020, making it 45 years younger than you, and the great stock market crash in 1929 was 46 years before you were born.
Okay,
So you are closer to the release of Hamilton than you were to the great stock market crash.
I actually don't mind having that wrong because I was thinking that I was really feeling old if I was closer to the stock market crash. So I actually am okay
It's
with
okay.
it.
Well, you're still sitting at 4 points.
Okay.
Next question.
Got you.
Which event were you born closer to? The release of Deadpool and Wolverine or the release of the movie The Circus starring Charlie Chaplin?
All right. Well, Deadpool and Wolverine was this year. I'm 49 this year, for everyone that's wondering. And the circus, Charlie Chaplin would have been in the 30s. So I'm gonna stick with what I think you're trying to do. You're doing a good job of it, is trying to make me feel old. I'm going to go with the Charlie Chaplin film.
Correct. The
Yes.
movie The Circus, starring Charlie Chaplin, was released in January 1928, making it 48 years and 1 month older than you, while Deadpool and Wolverine was released in February 2024, making it 48 years and 2 months younger than you. So
You
you are
put
1 month closer.
you put a lot of work into this. I'm loving it. Do I get a bonus point
Well,
question on this one?
that one does not have a bonus point, but the rest do.
Okay.
So you're at 5 points now?
I'm not the judge of this game. I don't know.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You are at 5 points.
Beautiful.
Next question.
Got it.
This is multiple choice.
Okay.
What was the number one song on the radio the year you were born? Was it Love Will Keep Us Together by Captain and Tennille? I don't know if I'm saying that right.
You are.
Rhinestone Cowboy by Glenn Campbell, or Philadelphia Freedom by Elton John?
I don't think it's Elton John.
Oh, wait, I lied. This doesn't have a bonus point.
Okay. Wait, how many questions do we have left?
4.
Okay. Oof, man. This is a big one. Captain and Tennille or Rhinestone Cowboy? I was born in 1975. I did not listen to music in 1975. If I did, I don't remember it. Rhinestone Cowboy. Who sings that one?
Glenn Campbell.
I'm gonna go with it.
That is incorrect. Love Will Keep Us Together by Captain and Tennille was the number one song in 1975.
That was my gut.
Which was
That was
49
my
years
gut.
ago.
That was my gut. That was my gut choice,
okay.
and I didn't go with my gut.
It's okay. There's still a lot of points on the board. There's still 7 points on the board. You only need 3.
How am I doing, Caleb?
You're doing great.
Yeah, I don't.
And you still have a lifeline.
Yeah, I'm holding on to it. I almost use it.
Question number 8. What was the number one movie the year you were born in 1975? Was it Jaws, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, or Monty Python and the Holy Grail?
Jaws.
Correct. That was
Yes,
kind of a layup.
I know this one. I know this one.
Isn't it crazy that you were born the same year Jaws came out?
You know, fun fact about Jaws: a lot of people attribute that movie to creating the summer blockbuster. Like people, Steven Spielberg, John Williams, like they made this big, was a huge hit in the summertime, and then every year after that, like summer blockbusters started to come out. So yeah, big deal.
So you are as old as summer blockbusters.
Yes, I am. I think I've outlived the summer blockbusters because now we have like year-round summer blockbusters. I mean, blockbusters.
That is true. Okay, so you are at 6 points. You only need 2.
Oh, this is a lot of pressure.
Okay. Who is older, you or Matthew McConaughey?
Oh, that's a really, really good question because I'm. This is not my answer. I'm thinking this through. I think that Matthew McConaughey. My gut is that he's younger than me, just because he looks younger than me. So then that makes
He's a
me
hunk.
wonder what
He's a hunk.
he is a hunk. He is a hunk. So that makes me want to say he's older than me because actors usually are always older than they look. No, reverse that. They always look younger than they are. See Ralph Macchio, who is like only 10 years younger than Jackie Chan, but he looks
Yeah,
like he's 30 years younger than Jackie Chan. So I'm going to say that Matthew McConaughey is older than I am.
correct. Matthew McConaughey is 6 years older than you. You have 7 of your 8 points.
Fantastic.
For your final question.
But this is the last question?
Yes, but this question can be up to 5 points.
Oh, okay.
For 5 points, how old were you when the iPhone was released? If you get the exact age you were when the iPhone was released, you get 5 points. And for every year you are off, you are subtracted 1 point.
Okay. I feel good about this. I'm okay. So we're not like splitting. We're not splitting like what month, right? Because I would have. I
No,
had my
just by the
birthday.
year.
Okay, so just by the year. So I am going to go with 33.
Wow, you were close. You were
Oh,
32.
oh, so it came out in 2007.
It did.
Okay, so I thought 2006 or 2008, so I went in 2008. So I got 4 points.
So you get 4 points for the 11 points. You get your Target exclusive hashtag not ad 3 mini Mandalorian Funko Pops. Thank
Incredible.
you for playing.
This is
I've
amazing.
been Luke.
You have been Luke. I've been Luke.
And you know, I'm really glad you exceeded 10 points because Luke took your car keys and he told me if you didn't get 10, you weren't getting them back.
I didn't pass my driver's license exam by not passing your test, so I had my car keys revoked. This is cool. This is cool. I liked it. Thank you. I appreciate that the time and effort you put into that. I had a lot of fun, and I'm. How many Funko little mini thingies do I get?
3.
Amazing.
I believe it's the Armorer, um, the big dude who's John Favreau.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah,
he's the big dude, and
yeah. With the
I forgot the other
flamethrower
one.
guy, the big machine gun, the one that Mando
Yeah,
fights.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I know,
That
but
guy,
if you just remove that sentence, John
John
Favreau, the
Favreau, the big
big
guy.
dude, that sounds hilarious.
John Favreau is the big dude in my heart. That guy is magnificent. Love that dude. Um, Caleb, I didn't need to use a lifeline. Does that mean that you're going to give me something too?
I'll give you a big, crisp pat on the back.
The other one is Bo Katan, by the way.
Sick, sick. Okay, well, I'll look forward to displaying those. Yeah, that was fun. I have a game since it's Christmas time. Can we play another game? Are you guys
Maybe.
down for playing a game?
Of course.
First, before we play the game, I wanted to tell you that I read something uh, just recently that the guy that directed Wicked, his name is John Chu, and apparently George Lucas called John Chu on the telephone to tell him how much he liked Wicked and to say that it was, he really thought that he made a really brilliant film and, it was great. But he liked it so much that it was like, as he's walking out of the movie theater, he called him. And John Chu said this in an interview, and he said that he was that George Lucas called him to compliment him on the film, and he called from the mall that he was in as he was walking out of the theater. So first of all, love the fact that George Lucas is like, do you think George Lucas just has everybody's number? Like, I'm going to call this guy.
I thought it would be the opposite. I thought he would have like 5 people's numbers saved.
Yeah, I don't think he has anybody's number saved. I'd like to believe he still uses like the yellow pages.
Or like he calls somebody and says, "Hey, can you patch me through to like an assistant or something?" You know how those
Like the
people used
people
to.
in John Wick.
Yeah. They pull the cords out of the things and put them in. But the fact that he's seeing movies in malls is thrilling to me. George Lucas is the most normal person in the entire world, and I just love it. Absolutely love it.
I respect him less because I didn't like Wicked.
Wait,
I'm
you
surprised you
haven't
saw
seen
Wicked.
Wicked?
I know.
Wait, you just don't. We're not getting into why you don't like Wicked because it's petty and trivial. Let's
We
play
can
my
get
game.
into it. I don't mind.
No. Let's play my game. We're gonna play my game. So, a little behind the scenes for everybody here on the Colby Cast. We all decided, the three of us decided that we were gonna watch Red One, and we were gonna talk about Red One. And then guess what happened? None of us watched Red One.
I did
And
not
neither
agree to
did
that.
anyone else.
Well, no, that's not true. It's actually not true. And Caleb, I know you didn't agree to it, but you said you would watch it and record if you had time, which apparently you didn't. So
If I had time and if I had to.
if you had to, that's how much that's how dedicated you are to the Colby Cast listeners. You want to watch things even though you're not excited about it. So, long story short, life happened. We didn't get to watch Red One, so we're not going to be talking about Red One. But I was inspired by Red One, and I know the premise of the movie is that Santa Claus gets like kidnapped, and then Dwayne the Rock Johnson goes and finds Captain America, and then they go and try to get him back. That's the premise of the movie. So I thought, hey, why don't we build a team, do a character draft of Christmas movie characters to get Santa Claus back because Santa Claus has been abducted, and we have to build a team to get him back. And I disagree with what you said, Luke, because they people did see it. Amazon they announced that 50 million views accumulated over the first weekend that it was available to watch on Prime. 50 million. It's a
What
record
that
for the
sounds like
service.
to me?
What?
That sounds like fraud.
You know, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I'm gonna believe Amazon's inflated numbers. You know why?
Why?
That's probably now in their like mandatory training is like you have to watch Red One or you don't get your paycheck.
Maybe.
My counterpoint to that is I know like 20 people and none of them watched Red One. You're telling me 50 million people did? Don't think so.
Well, no, that's the funny part about those views is that it's not 50 million people, it's 50 million views, and it doesn't even have to be the entire movie. So
Yeah, so their employees had to
I
watch
love
it
it.
before they clocked in for the day. That's what happened.
They just leave it on in the break room.
Yeah,
it
exactly.
has it has a 31. Did you say they leave it on in the break room? An Amazon break room?
Yeah.
I don't know why I think that's so funny. It has a 31% at Rotten Tomatoes, but it has a 91% audience score and an A minus in cinema score. So audiences like the movie, critics hate it. So I still want us to watch it. I'm still interested in seeing it. It looks like fun to me. So I mean, it's still Christmas. We could still watch it. So Santa's been kidnapped. We're gonna create a list. We got 5 team members. It can be from any Christmas movie, and it can be any character from any Christmas movie. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. And I think I need to confess something. I didn't pay attention when you said that we're trying to get Santa back. So I thought we were just doing our favorite ones. So
It's same
some
difference.
of mine may or may not be ready for battle. So I'm gonna have to improvise here a little bit. Um, but I think first one I'm gonna pick is gonna be Kevin McAllister because I think any Christmas list without Kevin McAllister is a bad list. And if you saw what he could do as a 8-year-old boy or whatever defending his home against 2 burglars and hanging out alone in New York on his own, I would like to see what he could do with some more resources, especially if he was incentivized a little bit and went on the offensive.
You are the worst because I wanted to pick Kevin McAllister. So I'll forgive you because you're going to give me toys, but boo to you. All right, so your first pick is Kevin McAllister. It's a very solid pick. I think that he would excel at strategy. I think it'd be very good to have on a team trying to get somebody back. So, all right, Caleb, you're first. You're next.
So I have questions.
Yeah.
He's been kidnapped, but is there a ransom note? Is there a location to be found? Like, is there a negotiation available? Like, what are the parameters?
Anything would apply. I mean, I don't know that we have a location because I don't know that kidnappers disclose the location of where they've kidnapped people. So probably not there. But everything else would apply to a kidnapping scenario. So maybe some. I would think that there needs to be some location, like they investigation, uh, potentially some negotiation, some force. We're going to need some muscle. Maybe someone with some transportation. So yeah, anything that would apply to a kidnapping.
I am going to get into the mind of the criminals because no matter how a redemption story works, they still have that other side of them in the back of their mind. And with that preamble, I'm going to pick the Grinch.
Oh, I think that's solid.
Will Max be accompanying him?
Oh, absolutely. Max goes everywhere with him. The Grinch doesn't want him to be there, but he comes.
Oh, so you're getting a bonus then, because maybe he can sniff out some sense.
Maybe.
The Grinch and Matt. Well, I didn't say that you couldn't have two, so you get a twofer. I like it. And that's and why are you picking the Grinch? Because you think he could think like a criminal?
Oh, he could think like a criminal. He could be anything he wanted to be, depending on the day. He has some scheduling issues sometimes, as you can see um, in his list where he says jazzercise, which lives rent free in my head. Um, but he's a well rounded individual,
Oh, okay, I like it.
and that's
Um,
not a shot at his weight.
On his schedule, doesn't it say self-loathing?
Yes, it does.
I love it.
one of the quotes that I sent out this Christmas season was him saying, "Am I eating because I'm bored?" That's a funny line. Okay, well that's good. I like it. I'm going to choose Buddy the Elf from Elf, and the reason I'm going to
That would
choose,
have been that would have been my first pick had we not been trying to get Santa back.
well, the reason that I'm doing this is because number one, he would. There's no stopping Buddy the Elf from helping and saving Santa. I think if you've seen the movie, you know why. Um, think of like the line that Trinity said about Neo, or maybe it was Morpheus that said it. If there's air left in his lungs, he will not stop. I feel like that's Buddy the Elf trying to save Santa. But also,
100%.
thank you. But also, uh, have you seen him throw snowballs? Like he's dangerous. He has a
He's got a cannon.
he does just rapid fire. He's taking people out left and right. So I think that he serves a couple of purposes. Plus, you know, he's tall, so he can change light bulbs and stuff. So, Luke, you're up. Number two.
Well, I was hoping to get the Grinch, and I'm sorry to see Buddy go. Um, but I think I got to go with my boy Ebenezer Scrooge.
Interesting.
He's got some deep, deep pockets. That's kind of the whole point of the movie. But
It's true.
you know, he's got some anger to him. He's got some pop. I know he's older in age, but I think Kevin McAllister will bring out some youth in him, and he'll bring some wisdom that Kevin doesn't have. But I would like to see those two on the court together.
Now, is this pre-change Scrooge or post-change Scrooge? Because he's very different in the beginning and the end of that story.
I'm gonna go post movie Scrooge
Yeah, because you
because
want
I
him
think
spending his money.
I want him spending his money, and I also think that he probably wouldn't care if Santa was abducted before he had his little change of heart.
That's a good point. I like it. Caleb, you're up.
I am willing to fight tooth and nail and actually bring in this individual to the episode if we must.
Oh,
I know you guys will give me some resistance, but eventually, as truth does, it will prevail. I am picking John McClane.
I wanted John McClane.
I wanted John McClane.
Good.
I mean, I think it's very obvious why you want John McClane, but since you took him from me, want you to explain specifically and in detail why you want John McClane.
You know why I want John McClane, and I don't even want to talk about it because it's just implied that Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and he
I've
is
given up.
an incredible character.
I've given up on that battle. Like, I think we've discussed on the Colby cast that, we've just given up. I mean, I've given up on that battle. If it's during Christmas, it's Christmas. And actually, you've inspired my next choice.
Good.
But I'm not going to go there yet because I think maybe Luke has something to add to the John McClane situation.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna say, how many of these characters are armed? Because John McClane is.
Kevin McAllister has arms. Scrooge has arms. The Grinch has arms. Buddy the Elf, they all have arms. I don't understand the question.
Put a nickel in the dad joke jar.
Hey, you said that Kim was a hoot last episode, so I'm just saying. I'm gonna go with Gizmo as my pick from Gremlins.
Damn it, I wanted Gizmo.
You're kidding me. There's no way you thought of Gizmo.
I had Gizmo on my list.
I want Gizmo. But I have a strategic reason for this. You may need numbers, right? I mean, in this,
Just get
we
him
have
wet.
five.
So
Exactly.
you would put one of the members of your team through torture by wetting them just for the saving of Santa?
Yeah.
I mean, well, Luke, of course, he just says yes. You have seen Gremlins most recently. I don't remember. Was that a very painful experience for him when he was popping those fuzzy mogwais out?
Yes.
Yes, I would. I would, and I think he would volunteer. I think he would volunteer because he wants Santa safe. So he would willingly jump in a pool.
But you also remember that as they continue to spawn, they got more and more evil. I feel like it'd be as simple as, "Hey, I am a kidnapper. I can feed you, and I will only feed you after midnight if
Controlled
and
chaos.
only if you join our side, or are a double agent to keep Santa away from those guys."
I'm gonna take my chances because number one, there is the 24 like the feeding after midnight situation because Gizmo would pop out other Mogwais, not the Gremlins. You have to feed them after midnight. That's when they turn into Gremlins, right? So for a while, we'll have a whole army of fuzzy, lovely little hairy baby Yodas. Um, and then if we need to get chaos going, then that's when we feed them after midnight, and we just release them and see what happens. We need distractions. We clearly will probably need distractions.
You
So
might not get Santa back, but the kidnappers will be taken care of.
yeah, I'm very surprised that you thought of Gizmo, Luke. I thought I was being so original. So now I'm just
You doubt my creativity.
not after that quiz.
For my third pick, I would like to pick Rudolph.
Solid.
Shut up. Which one though?
Why do I have to pick? It's
I don't
Rudolph.
know. There are so many different variations. There's only one Kevin McAllister, so I was just curious. Sorry
There's
for
actually not.
But there really isn't. I mean, if you see all these Santa Claus movies, Rudolph is
no.
never there.
Okay, you want me to pick one? I'll go
Yes.
with the claymation one.
Yeah,
Nice. Good
Just for
answer.
the classic look.
that's what inspired the little puffin and the narwhal and Elf and the whole outside scene with the Frosty
Yep.
the Snowman guy.
Yep.
Leon, sorry, Leon the Snowman.
Leon the Snowman.
Um, yeah, that was all based on the I can't remember the name of the production company that is escaping me, but yeah, it's them. I like it. Rudolph, he's going to be able to shine his way through foggy nights.
And him and Santa go way back. You know, he's no mercenary. He's not even getting paid to bring Santa back. He's doing it
I
for the
mean,
love of the game.
he also really, he really wins over his teammates with his plucky attitude, right? The song says that they didn't like him at first, but boy, they were all on his side at the end. So I just feel like he's a good leader.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's not your captain, but he's definitely the assistant. You know.
Well, he could be the captain. Caleb, what's next on your list?
This one might actually get some resistance. I'm going to pick the Polar Express.
Like the train?
The experience.
That's not a character.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
How is that? If you picked the train, I would say okay because I do think that that sort of like plays a character role
So
in the
then
movie.
I will concede to the train, but the train does not conduct itself. I get the crew.
No, no, no. You get the conductor.
I get the crew. I get
I'll,
everybody.
I'm okay with the conductor. I don't know how many crew members is. I'm not even sure if I've ever seen the movie in its complete. Maybe once. How many people are we talking about?
Hundreds.
You get the conductor.
I don't know. I don't have a leg to stand on because I could literally produce thousands of gremlins.
Yes. I get yes. Cast and
No,
crew.
you can get thousands of mogwais.
Well, then I feed them after midnight and they turn into gremlins.
I still think that's a mistake.
You get the conductor, and you get the engineer guy in the coal room. That's it.
That's all I need. I'll take it.
Okay, so the Polar Express, like the Polar Express. The only reason I'm okay with this is because in my Russian film history class that I finished this last semester, we watched a an early Russian cinema, a film from the 20s about a battleship, and many critics comment that the battleship is the star of the movie. It's called the Battleship Potemkin. Uh, so I'm okay with you picking a train because the Battleship Potemkin was a movie star. So yeah, that brings me to my pick. And since Scrooge was brought up, I am going to go with the Ghost of Christmas Present, but the very specific Ghost of Christmas Present from the Bill Murray classic Scrooged, played by Carol
Wow.
Kane.
Wow.
Yes, because she spends the entirety of her time in that movie just beating the snot out of Bill Murray. So she's clearly a good fighter. And I do feel like we need a little bit of muscle on my team. So I'm going to go with the Ghost of Christmas Present, played by Carol Kane from the movie Scrooged. Follow up
See,
question: have either one of you ever seen that movie?
I have seen Scrooged.
I
Caleb,
believe I have to.
and how did you like it?
I thought it was great.
Me too.
Thanks for your very insightful thoughts. The movie is fantastic. It's so good. It's a modern retelling of the.
It's great. Um, well, you kind of sucked the wind out of my sails a little bit because I thought I was gonna go with a really deep cut here.
Oh,
Um, I I'm still gonna go with the pick. It doesn't have the same pop that I hoped it did, but I was gonna go with Leon the Snowman from Elf.
you know Santa doesn't really think highly of Leon, at least from the movie Elf. Elf. He's just like, oh, that guy's never been anywhere.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But there's a mutual respect there because Santa's
Is
been
there?
around forever. Leon has been around for who knows how long. I mean, he talks about when he was a cloud. How many of these people have been clouds, right? You know,
I love that movie so much.
it's so good.
There's so many good quotes in that movie. He's like, back when I was just a baby cumulus cloud.
I almost went with Mr. Narwhal, but
I thought about him too.
I think that Leon is a little more versatile, and he's also so you know, he has a presence about him. He's a calming presence.
He does. He does. He could be your captain. Caleb, your
How many
turn.
more picks do we have?
Luke has one. You and I have two.
Amazing. Okay, I am going to go with Mrs. Claus.
Which Mrs. Claus?
Any of them.
It's an important question.
No, you
We
made
need
me
a
pick a
specific.
Rudolph. You pick a Mrs. Claus.
The one that's married to Santa Claus.
Yes, from which movie?
I don't know. I just thought it would be funny.
Well, I think that that's a really good pick, but I'd like to hear your reason for picking Mrs. Claus.
She wants to be reunited with her hubby, and she
I get
would
it.
go to the ends of the earth to find him.
You
I feel
don't
like
know
she
that.
Oh,
would.
I do. I speak with them frequently because I am on the nice list, unlike you.
Yeah, well, you'd be surprised how much coal goes for nowadays.
I have a decision to make because I have three that I really want, but I can only take two. So I'm going. I don't know that either one. Well, no, I'm okay. Okay, I made my decision. You guys can determine how many of these I get. If you want to be sticklers, I will take just one. But if you're being cool, I take them all. They're the Central Park Rangers from Elf.
You can have one of them.
Caleb,
You can have one no horse.
You can have 3 no horse.
Yes, that's the one.
I'll
You
take
can
it.
have
I'll take it.
one on a horse, or 3 not on a horse, or 2 horses but no rangers.
I wasn't listening. I'll take the three. Wait, which one can I get with a horse?
You can get 1 with a horse.
I'll take one with a horse.
You can get 3 without a horse, or you can
Or I
get
just get a horse.
2 with no one riding it.
No, I want one Central Park Ranger with a horse. And I have to tell you, I don't know if anybody else experiences this the way I do, but during that part when the news reporter says that they're still under criticism for their tactics for the Simon and Garfunkel concert in 1980, whatever.
It's lines like that where
I
they
just
didn't have to. They didn't have to do it, but they did, and it makes it so much better.
the whole thing with that reporter cracks me up because like that line, and then you have the one dude that's being super awkward with just like, hey Charlotte, you know you're a great newswoman, you really tell the story with your, I'm like, what is this
And
about?
it's like, your boyfriend is a really lucky guy.
Yeah. And then of course the part when little Buddy the Elf's brother reads her Christmas wish for her brother, and I mean for her cousin, not her brother or her cousin. I'm giddy now.
Her
Her
boyfriend.
boyfriend to commit already. So funny. Oh, I think it's very obvious that I loved that movie. Okay, well I got that out of my system. Luke, who's your last pick?
My last pick. This I'm happy with how deep some of these cuts are. I pride myself in that in my drafts, but I think this one is probably the deepest cut of anything we've ever pulled. I
I
select.
think if it's not my pick, I think my pick is going to beat your deep cut. But let's see.
Okay. I'm going with Bell Schnickel from The Office.
That's amazing.
Dwight Schrute talks about Bell Schnickel being some German dude who goes and hits naughty children.
Oh god, I just keep thinking of him walking around saying with that phrase, whatever it is, maybe you know, and he's just whacking people with
I can't
sticks.
remember. It's not naughty or nice. It's
No, no.
if every day. God,
But then it gets really awkward because he hits Jim so hard, and like Jim is really like not just hurt physically, but you could see it like, it hurts him. Like, why are you hitting me?
it's
That's a good
great.
one. Okay, I think my deep cut will be deeper, but I think that one's funnier. That one's definitely funnier. All right, Caleb, who are you rounding out your team with?
Impish or admirable?
Oh,
Impish
there it
or
is.
admirable?
Yeah, that's what Belschnickel was saying instead of naughty and nice. Who's your pick, Caleb?
I was busy Googling that for Luke that I forgot the guy's name, and I was looking him up. Um, okay, I'm going to go with the Gimbals manager from Elf
Yes, that's great.
because
Love
there
that.
are some characters on my team that need managing, and I like his style.
Faison Love. He is
Yeah,
so funny. He is so funny. Make work your favorite thing.
exactly.
Corporate must have sent these guys. If anybody
All right,
hears
everybody.
anything, hit me on the
This is
radio.
He could be on the
Code word: Santa's got a new bag.
so good. When John Favreau appeared on Smartless, they talked about Elf, of course. That Faison Love was the one character that he brought up, like
Well,
specifically spoke about, and how much he loves what he did in that role. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. I love these teams. This is such a fun way to talk about Christmas movies. Okay, my last pick, and here's my deep cut. Hopefully, I haven't oversold it and made it to be a thing. Major General Thomas F. Waverly from White Christmas.
which one's that? I
That's a
know
good
White
one.
Christmas.
Good one. It's a
I
real
know
good
White
pick.
Christmas. Which one is he?
He's he was the major general in the
He
war,
owns
the,
the
and the
lodge.
innkeeper.
That is a hell of a pick.
I have very specific reasons because the love and admiration that man inspired. I mean, he inspired an entire region of his former soldiers to drop what they were doing on Christmas and go to his failing lodge. Spoilers for a movie that came out in like 1954 or something. What a person he must have been, right? Amazing. Plus, I think I have a lot of chaos on this team. Buddy the Elf, Gizmo, the Ghost of Christmas Present, and a Central Park Ranger with his horse. I need a good leader. I need somebody that's going to be able to get them all into shape and move them in the right direction. And I think that Major General Thomas F. Waverly would be the person to do it. So there it is. Plus, I wanted a chance to work in White Christmas to my list, and who better than Major General Tom? Excellent, magnificent.
That's a good pick.
Any final
Good
thoughts?
pick.
Any final thoughts? Would you like to appoint a captain if you haven't already?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Leon. I think Leon deserves it.
Caleb,
I already named my captain with my last pick.
who is it? Mrs. Claus, Grinch,
Oh, my
Mrs.
last
Gimbals. Yeah, the
pick.
Gimbals guy. You know that's his name. Like he doesn't even have a name. He's listed in the credits as Gimbals manager.
Yeah, that's the only way I could reference him because I didn't know his actual name.
Yeah. Yeah, mine is Major General. Excellent. Well, I like this. This is good stuff. Now, whose team has the best opportunity to get Santa Claus back? You can't name your own, like
Oh,
legitimately.
mine.
um, Clearly mine is, and then I know Luke. Clearly yours would be. Go
Okay,
ahead, Luke.
recap him. Recap him.
Oh, I just did. Buddy the Elf, Gizmo, the Ghost of Christmas Present from Scrooge, played by Carol Kane. One Central Park Ranger and Major General Tom Waverly.
I like your team a lot. I think what I would do if I were you is I would multiply the Mogwais and then have Buddy start throwing them. I think that would probably be the best thing to do.
I'm wondering about the chemistry between Buddy the Elf and the Central Park Ranger. It's a little.
Yeah, but I think if Buddy can get over it because it's for Santa, I think it'll be fine.
That's a good point. He'll do
Yeah,
anything
as
for
long as
Santa.
there's no perfume kiosks between their rendezvous points, he should be okay.
Well, thank you. I am a fan of Caleb's transportation, and I think Mrs. Claus will have everyone very well fed with cookies. Because isn't that what she does? Is bake a lot of cookies? I'm wondering. I would love to see a scene on the Polar Express between the Grinch and John McClane. I would like to see John McClane interact with any of these characters, to be quite honest. But you can never really bet against Kevin McAllister. Like the kid, he just makes things happen. And of course, Leon the Snowman. So
Yeah, because he's a domestic terrorist.
he is. I really have to uh, compliment you on your Belschnickel pick, Luke. I completely forgot about that. That's a good pick.
I just don't think he's a team player. That's my concern.
Yeah, that's just because you've never met him. We scouted, we talked to him, we went to dinner. He's on board. We're on board. I don't appreciate you calling out my player in the media like this.
But did he throw dirt at you?
Yeah, that's tradition.
He's the guy that you send out like for advanced reconnaissance. Like you just let him be him by himself
Yeah,
and go out
everyone was
and make
freaking
some
out.
things
They're like,
happen.
we haven't heard from Belschnickel in 3 months. And we're like, yeah, that's the point.
Hmm. I have an image of Scrooge riding Rudolph. I like that. I like that a lot. Well, this has been a blast. This is the way to do Christmas. Sit around and play silly games. Do you guys have anything left in your brains before we end our episode?
Yeah, Merry Christmas. I had a nice little experience with some holiday cheer. I went to Costco because
Mm.
Costco's great. And I got my chicken bacon, I got my pizza, and I got my drink. Massive amount of food, ton of calories, all delicious for like $6. I love Costco. So I bought a gift. It was a very large gift, and it was what we were building, the massive car, and it didn't fit in my trunk. And this was about 30 minutes away from our house, so I wasn't able to get it in my car. And a guy came over and he offered help trying to put it in my car, and then we both realized it doesn't fit. And his name was Brian. Brian said, "Well, I'm here with my mom, and we have an SUV. If you'd like, we can take it to your house." And I was like, "Oh, I live pretty far, but I am right down the street from my girlfriend's house. So if you wouldn't mind, you could drop it off there." And he said, "Yeah, sure, no problem." And they we loaded it up into their SUV, and he helped me unload it into their yard, and I left it there overnight. And then um my girlfriend's dad brought it over the next morning, and it was great. And that was some holiday magic. It's what you see in the movies, because that doesn't happen in July. That happens around the holidays. So thank you to them.
That is a Christmas miracle. So like literally
It is a
Brian the,
Christmas
str-
miracle.
Brian the stranger and his mom just loaded up that box was massive because this is like a remote control car that 2 3-year-olds will fit in with room to spare. This thing was huge, is huge, and they just loaded it up and took it to Blanca's house. That's amazing. That's almost as good. That might be number 2 only to when Danny Trejo stopped you guys on the street and gave you a random present. And that's a true story. Like 5 minutes from our house.
That did happen, and then he made us throw the presents away because he said not to take stuff from strangers.
No, but that's awesome. Thank you, Brian, and your mom for helping out. That's very cool. See, kindness. Neil from the Skeleton Crew would be so happy because he just wants us to be kind, and I agree with him. So, Caleb, any final thoughts before we close out?
I want it to be cold because I want hot chocolate.
You're gonna have to drink hot chocolate with it not being cold because it's not gonna be very cold.
No,
It was 75 today.
take it back.
Yeah, yeah.
This one is not supposed to get colder.
I think it's gonna get in the 60s. This is low. It's like the
I
highs
will
in the
take
60s.
it. I will take it.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening and enjoying our Colby Cast brand of Christmas fun while we sit here and finish off our games and our food and our presents. We hope everyone has had a magnificent holiday season, regardless of what holiday you celebrate. We thank you for listening. We thank you for being kind to each other. We thank you for your support. And I'm going to do this in my best Gingy voice. So for Caleb and for Luke, this is Colby reminding you,
God bless us, everyone!
if you enjoyed this episode, let us know. You can find the Colby Cast on Instagram, Threads, and X at the Colby Cast. Episodes can also be found on YouTube, so like and subscribe. If you feel so inclined, rate and review our show on your podcatcher of choice. That really helps the show beat the algorithm and helps us find new friends to add to the conversation. If you're wordy, like me, you can send an email to thecolbycast@gmail.com. All music is licensed through Adobe Stock and performed by ProMusic 24. This podcast is not endorsed by anyone or anything for that matter. It's intended for entertainment and informational purposes only. All original content of this podcast is the intellectual property of the Colby Cast unless otherwise indicated.
That'll do, Donkey. That'll do.